God says, "Listen closely, my beloved soul, because this message is not coming to frighten you or place fear in your heart. It is arriving to calm you, to steady you, and to help you understand something with clarity rather than confusion." Protection does not always look like urgency or alarm. Often, it looks like awareness gently rising within you, helping you see what you were never meant to carry alone. There are seasons in life when certain people cross our path not to stay forever, but to reveal something important about boundaries, growth, and self-respect. You may have felt a subtle uneasiness around someone without being able to explain it. Not anxiety, not suspicion, just a quiet sense that something did not fully align. That feeling was not imagination. It was discernment forming. Discernment does not accuse or judge. It simply observes and protects peace. You are not being told that someone is bad or that you must fear them. This message is about understanding energy, intention, and influence. Every relationship, whether brief or long, leaves an imprint. Some imprints strengthen you. Others teach you where to step back. Recognizing the difference is part of maturity, not betrayal. Choosing distance is sometimes an act of self-respect, not rejection. You may notice that when you think about this person, your body responds before your mind does. A tightening in the chest. A heaviness you cannot name. Or a sense of relief when space appears between you and them. These responses are your inner wisdom speaking. Wisdom does not shout. It whispers. And when you listen, you begin to feel safer within yourself. Protection, in its truest form, does not remove challenges. It gives you clarity so challenges do not control you. You are being guided to trust your perception, to honor your boundaries, and to choose environments that support your growth rather than drain it. This guidance is not sudden, it has been building quietly through experiences, reflections, and lessons you have already lived. If you have been questioning your instincts lately, wondering whether you are being too sensitive or overthinking, let this settle gently in you. Awareness is not weakness. Awareness is strength becoming conscious. You are learning how to recognize what aligns with your peace and what subtly disrupts it. That recognition is a gift. Stay present as this message continues. Nothing is being taken away from you. Something is being clarified. And clarity, when received calmly, becomes one of the strongest forms of protection you will ever carry. As this message continues, allow yourself to remain calm and centered, because protection is not about fear, it is about understanding. Understanding creates distance from what drains you without creating conflict inside you. You may begin to realize that some relationships do not need dramatic endings to lose their influence. Sometimes, clarity alone is enough. When clarity arrives, attachment loosens naturally, and peace begins to take its place. There are people who enter our lives during seasons when we are learning important lessons about self-worth, patience, and boundaries. Their presence serves a purpose, even if that purpose is temporary. You may have felt yourself growing quieter around this person, less expressive, or more guarded without knowing why. That is not weakness. That is your inner sense protecting what matters most to you. Growth often looks like restraint before it looks like confidence. Pay attention to how your energy responds when you imagine space rather than closeness. If relief appears, that tells you something valuable. Relief is not rejection. It is alignment returning. You are learning to differentiate between familiarity and compatibility, between habit and harmony. These distinctions become clearer as you mature emotionally, and you are clearly in that stage now. It is also important to understand that protection does not require confrontation. You are not being asked to accuse, expose, or react. You are being guided to choose wisely and quietly. Wisdom does not need an audience. It operates through calm decisions, gentle distance, and intentional focus on what supports your well-being. When you choose peace, you are already protected. You may have wondered why certain doors felt harder to open recently, or why certain conversations never quite flowed the way you expected. These delays were not obstacles. They were safeguards. Safeguards that allowed you time to see clearly before investing deeper. When timing slows down, it often does so to protect your future rather than delay it. Notice how staying with this message feels grounding rather than unsettling. That is intentional. True guidance stabilizes. It helps you trust yourself again. You are not being told to suspect everyone or isolate yourself. You are being reminded to honor your intuition and to listen when something consistently feels misaligned. As you move forward, carry this awareness gently. You do not need to explain your choices to anyone who does not live inside your heart. What matters is that your decisions bring calm rather than confusion, strength rather than tension. That is how protection works at its deepest level. Quietly, respectfully, and always in favor of your peace. As this message moves deeper, you may begin to recognize that what is being revealed is not about one moment or one decision, but about a pattern you have been sensing for a while. Patterns do not appear to accuse us, they appear to teach us. You may notice that with this person, your spirit often felt tired rather than uplifted, uncertain rather than assured, or cautious rather than open. These feelings were not random reactions. They were signals inviting you to slow down and observe more carefully. There are times when we stay connected to people because of history, familiarity, or responsibility, even when the connection no longer supports who we are becoming. Growth changes our needs. What once felt acceptable can begin to feel heavy. That does not mean you were wrong before. It means you are wiser now. Wisdom allows you to reassess without guilt and to step back without anger. You may also realize that this person's presence required you to explain yourself more than you should have had to. When a connection is healthy, understanding flows naturally. When it is misaligned, you find yourself justifying your feelings, minimizing your needs, or doubting your perceptions. Those experiences quietly teach you the importance of honoring your inner voice. Your inner voice has been learning how to speak more clearly, and now you are learning how to listen. Protection often works through redirection. It does not block your path harshly, it gently nudges you toward better alignment. You may have noticed that circumstances shifted, conversations changed, or distance appeared without you forcing it. That was not loss. That was guidance creating space for clarity. Space allows truth to rise without pressure. It is important to release the idea that you must fully understand someone's intentions to protect yourself. You do not need proof to honor your boundaries. You do not need explanations to choose peace. What matters is how a connection affects your sense of self. If you feel smaller, quieter, or less confident around someone, that information is enough to pause and reflect. As you continue forward, notice how your confidence begins to feel quieter but stronger. This is the confidence that comes from self-trust rather than approval. You are learning that protecting your peace does not require conflict. It requires awareness. Awareness transforms hesitation into understanding and understanding into calm action. Stay present with this realization. Nothing is being demanded of you right now. You are simply being reminded that you are allowed to choose environments, relationships, and paths that support your growth. That choice is not selfish. It is necessary. And it is one of the clearest signs that protection is already working in your life. As this message reaches its final flow, allow everything you have sensed so far to come together gently, without pressure or urgency. What is being offered to you now is not fear, not suspicion, and not accusation. It is clarity. And clarity is one of the most peaceful forms of protection you can receive. When clarity arrives, confusion loses its power, and you no longer feel the need to overthink or second-guess yourself. You may now recognize that the protection spoken of here was never about exposing someone or revealing a dramatic truth. It was about strengthening your inner awareness so you no longer ignore what your heart has been quietly telling you. You are learning to trust how you feel in someone's presence, to notice whether you feel supported or diminished, calm or unsettled. These feelings are not random emotions. They are signals guiding you toward balance and self-respect. There is a shift happening inside you where you no longer feel obligated to stay in situations that drain you just to keep peace on the outside. Real peace begins within. When inner peace is honored, external harmony follows naturally. You are discovering that stepping back does not mean failure. It means discernment. And discernment is wisdom in action. You are also being reminded that protection does not isolate you. It refines your connections. It helps you recognize who encourages your growth and who unintentionally pulls you away from it. This awareness does not make you distant or cold. It makes you intentional. Intentional living brings stability, confidence, and emotional clarity that no external validation can replace. As you move forward from this message, notice how lighter your decisions begin to feel. Notice how your boundaries no longer feel like walls, but like doors you choose when to open. That is strength. That is balance. That is protection working quietly in your favor. Let this message close with reassurance rather than anticipation. You are not being warned. You are being guided. Guided toward calm choices, honest reflection, and relationships that align with who you are becoming. Trust the steadiness you feel now. That steadiness is your confirmation that you are on the right path. If this message felt like it spoke directly to your heart, type Amen in the comments as a sign of trust. Please like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who may need clarity and peace today. And remember, honoring your inner guidance is already protecting you.